This week's episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by Charmin. Charmin has long-lasting mega rolls that aim to give you a better bathroom experience. Those who use Charmin really enjoy the go. This episode is one that I just felt called to do. I had another episode in the lineup, but as life can have it, sometimes you have to respond to what you're currently feeling. So as you can see from the title of this episode, Motherhood is Kicking My Butt, a dream driving update. I wanted to be real about what's going on along my dream driving journey. And so I wanted to just incorporate more of my motherhood journey. I'm not going to try to edit out Axe's little whimpers. He's currently fighting me right now for the mic. But I thought I'd just kind of give you a real peek into what's going on in my life right now and how I am adjusting. Before we get into today's episode, though, remember, if you are following us on social, make sure that you're sharing this episode. I think that it's probably going to be one that others can relate to. We are Dreams and Drive across the board on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can use the hashtag Dreams and Drive when sharing as well. Also, if you guys want to get our weekly newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. This episode is really just going to be a little bit on the fly. I want to put myself out there because I think over the past 6 months, a lot has changed. And I'm just really trying to figure out how I'm going to change with the times. All right. So let's get into it. Motherhood is kicking my butt. It's so funny because the reason why I decided to even really do this episode is because I just have a deadline for something else and my son just will not let me do it. During the day, it's kind of just us by ourselves. And so I'm always wrangling him. And he just was being such a busybody today. I said, you know what? I'm going to get back to that deadline and let me just do something that will give me some peace and joy. And being behind the mic has always been that for me. There's just so much that you will never really be able to know until you are 100% into motherhood and the baby's here. So my son Axe is now 6 months old, and I really feel like there's just a whole life adjustment. I have so much more respect for mothers now. Your life completely 100% changes, especially if you had a pandemic baby, as I did, a baby born during the COVID-19 pandemic. Life is not the same for new mothers, and it can be really hard to adjust. So how is motherhood kicking my butt, right? I feel like there's just an overall life difference that I have to get used to now. And when you're pregnant, you don't think about, at least I didn't. I saw this post on Instagram the other day that really just talked about how a lot of us are glamorizing the postpartum. We glamorize the postpartum or the prenatal pregnant experience, and we don't really think about the real things that we should be asking ourselves and our partners as we prepare for baby. And your life just changes 100% once you bring a new life into the world and you're solely responsible for it. Lately, I think for me, I'm happy that we've reached the 6-month mark. I think emotionally I'm out of that, postpartum fog that a lot of people experience. But at the same time, with that, I now also feel this sense of overwhelm sometimes. There's so much to think about. So, for example, today, my son is also now eating solids, and I was eating lunch, and I had to remember, okay, you need to make sure that you're preparing something for Axe to eat as well. And it may seem so small, preparing a baby meal, but there's also so much that goes into it. Is he getting the right nutrition? Is it enough? Another thing that has been very overwhelming for me is I think you've heard about me talk about this with Kalisha from Boss Blend Coffee, is this whole idea of if I return to work, how will that look like? I've been looking for possible remote jobs, and I kind of feel guilty for doing that. And then part of me is wondering, how will I manage it? How will I get child care? What are the child care options? There's just a lot, especially being a COVID-19 mom, having a baby during the pandemic. You just want to make sure that you're making the right decisions. And I think for dream driving for me has always kind of been a I've been a solo driver in a way, and now that I have a passenger in the back seat, I have to really make sure that all the decisions that I'm making incorporate him. And so for me personally, it might just be a personal, it might just be something that is a personal tick of mine, but I do get overwhelmed very easy. And there's no guidebook to motherhood. Everyone has something else. Everyone has their own opinion. And so that's also been another thing when you're looking for answers, right? There's just so many opinions out there. There's so many people who are going to tell you what they should do, from our, in-laws to parents. They're just always having their own opinion, and you want to respect it, but at the same time you have to learn to be confident and also to make your own decisions. So that also sometimes contributes to my overwhelm and affects my ability to really move forward with my dream driving. Another thing that I've been really thinking about is future goal planning, goal setting, thinking about where I want to be, where is my car going right now. I think for a lot of us, some people, this is something that comes easy for them. But for me, I think always having this long-term specific goal setting has been an issue. But because I have a son now, I really have to be very intentional about where the car is heading and what are we putting into it, what are we doing. And then at the same time, that contributes to my overwhelm as well. So I've been more aware of just how important this responsibility of being a parent is. And just the idea of responsibility is something else that has been kicking me in the butt, but also forcing me to tap into my strengths and to tell myself, girl, you got this. You really have to be strong in all senses of the word. Another way that motherhood has been kicking me in the butt is this idea of desires versus reality. I think we have all these hopes of what we want to accomplish, all these things that we want to do. We see and we hope and we plan, but then life hits you, right? Like for me today, I said, all right, I'm going to do this for this deadline that I have. I'm going to get this done. And my son is so clingy and I had to change my whole schedule around. Right now I'm nursing him because that's the only way that he'll kind of just not try to grab for the mic 1,000 times and make a lot of noise. I am realizing I need to succumb to the journey. I need to not put my car on autopilot, but I need to realize that sometimes you don't have control over everything. And for me as a dream driver, I think one of the things that might have held me back is my desire to want to control all the moves and control all the road stops and control all the hazard signs. And I cannot do that. It's not sustaining. It's not going to help me at all. And even today, I had to say, all right, this is not working right now, Raina. You need to give up control and listen to what, I'm going to say this in quotes, what the vibes are right now. The vibes are where you're not going to get whatever you were trying to get done. Switch energies, right? I've been operating on less sleep, although I don't really know how that's affecting me. Another thing that we decided to do is sometimes we co-sleep. For me, that has been the thing that has helped. Co-sleeping is a guarantee for me that I'll get more sleep. And there's so much flack that there's in the community about co-sleeping. I tried the whole sleep training thing and it just doesn't work for us right now. Axel is still very, very used to us, and he's a nursing baby and he wants that comfort at night. So I don't mind it. I just then worry, right? There's another thing about how motherhood's kicking me in the butt, this sense of worry. Am I doing the right thing? Am I messing him up? Am I spoiling him? There's all this rhetoric on what is spoiling a child and what isn't. So for me, that's something that I have to really be cognizant of. Another thing that I've been hyper aware of is it can be so hard to compare yourself to other moms, especially with Instagram and social media being so easy for you to think that you know what's going on in people's lives. There's all these mompreneurs online who just seem like they're getting it all done, and I just look at their lives sometimes and I'm like, yo, they have it all together. What's wrong with me? Here I am with a podcast. I've interviewed over 200 something guests and how they get things done. And I just feel like, even just physically, I feel like I've let myself go in some ways, or some days where, I don't even shower because I'm just so engrossed in the baby. So I know that I need to intentionally make sure that I'm taking care of myself. Self-care has been super important. So that's something that I want to prioritize more. And I'm going to share with you some things as I'm talking to, so what am I doing about it, right? What am I doing because I feel like motherhood is kicking my butt for me? I've decided that when I feel that overwhelm, I have to do something to shift energy, whether it's changing activities, whether it's just saying, all right, Axel, we'll cuddle right now, but mommy has to get back to doing what she has to do. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's just doing something that I enjoy doing. Maybe it's putting on a Netflix show and relaxing for an hour to let my mind kind of go free. Shifting that energy is very important. I think also sometimes I have to be conscious of what, and this can apply to anyone, be conscious of what it is that you're actually feeling. And so for me, it was, am I feeling overwhelmed or am I fearing things? Am I feeling overwhelmed or am I fearing? This episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by Charmin. Those who use Charmin Dream Drivers really enjoy the go. Charmin has a variety of products to satisfy your to-go needs. So what are we talking about, right? Our bathroom experience. That's the one thing that we Dream Drivers all have in common. All of us have that need to go. So why not enjoy the go with Charmin? Softness matters for me, right? At home and in the bathroom. And Charmin has a variety of products that makes your to-go experience that much better. There's Charmin Ultra Soft, which has an irresistible cushiony softness. There's Charmin Ultra Strong for superior strength and absorbency. Or you can try Charmin Flushable Wipes and get the freshest clean Charmin has. And as somebody with a baby, wipes are my favorite right now. And don't forget Charmin's long-lasting Mega Rolls. Charmin aims to give you a better bathroom experience. At Charmin, they believe that won't happen if you finish it all off with the wrong toilet paper, which is why they make a toilet paper that's just right for everybody. So try Charmin and enjoy a better bathroom experience. Am I fearing the future? Am I feeling overwhelmed or am I nervous, right? What time of the month is it? Is it closer to my menstrual cycle? Is it something that might be going on hormonally? Have I eaten? Think about all that things. Like, have I been eating healthy, right? Because what you put into your body also really does affect a lot too. So there's just so much that I've had to think about. Getting outside for me now that it's warmer has been a help a lot. I think also making sure that you have a tribe, people that you can support on. A mommy tribe is important, but also people who support mothers, people who support you as friends is very important. It's funny enough, today I had to text my dad, and my dad, if you guys listen to the podcast a long time, you know that my dad and I have a cool relationship, and he had to give me a little pep talk. And you're never too old to get a pep talk, right? I think I sometimes have to just be honest and say, I don't have a hard time asking for help, but I think sometimes I have a hard time admitting that I feel defeated especially because I have this podcast and I'm talking to so many people and I'm supposed to be inspiring others to put their dreams into drive. I sometimes feel a little like I am being not like that I'm a fake if I admit that, hey, I need that help myself. So I'm realizing that it's okay. It's okay. We're all going through it. Actually, my coach, Rich Keller, he was like, Raina, you need to, did you think that this was going to be easy? And I used to tell this to people, but I didn't think that motherhood would be easy, but I didn't realize just how difficult it would be. And there's just levels to it that you'll never really experience until you're actually in it. And it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. Like, I just saw a post online with this one girl who had a baby the same time I had. she's like, I want to have 3 more. I want to have 4 kids. And I'm thinking, how do people manage? How do people manage? And I'm by no means shaming motherhood, people who want to have a lot of kids. Hey, I may have a lot of kids right now, and I know this is just a season in my life, but I just wanted to be real about the things that are going on. I don't think I've been as productive. I think about all the revenue goals I had for Dreams and Drive and a lot of the other financial goals that I have for myself, and I feel like I've fallen off. I really feel like I'm falling off. So that's why I have to be more intentional about making time for me and making time for fueling myself and knowing that, hey, I can't do it all. And there's that quote about nobody does it all by themselves, right? There's always something that's going to be slipping, something that's always going to be falling by the wayside. And the people that seem like they're doing it all, they're not showing a part of the puzzle that will make it make sense for other people, right? But beyond all this, though, there is joy. I do find this joy whenever I look at my son's face, and right now he's clapping. He wakes up clapping. He goes to sleep clapping. He's up in his clapping phase. He even knows the word clap. If you say clap, he will start to clap. And I look at how he sees the world. I just went outside for like a few minutes with him before doing this, and the way he looked at the cars going down the street and the way he just lights up about the world, I know that I'm meant to be his mother, and I know that things will get better. But I just wanted to let y'all know that it's okay if you're going through this now, and you will find joy in your children. At the same time, you will find overwhelm. You will find all the things that I'm experiencing right now, thinking about the future, struggling with the realities of being responsible for another being, desires versus reality, the lack of sleep, knowing that you want your kid to be happy and hoping that you're setting everything in place so that can happen. But it's just really important to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Self-care is important. Shifting your energy when needing. Get outside. Get that fresh air. Make sure you're eating right. Have a tribe. Make sure you're investing in support of some kind. And also find ways to always see the beauty in everything. And realizing what is it all for? What are we all living for? What's the point of all of this? Is it for money? And for me, money has never really been my motivation. So remembering that money isn't my motivation. I know that I need money to live. I know that I need money to survive. But my purpose and impact is important. And hey, we're all finding our way. We're all finding our way as dream drivers. So I wanted to just kind of give you guys a little sneak peek update into what's going on with me. I'm trying to get these episodes out weekly. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. And as somebody who was just so chronic with my consistency before, I do feel like, you're falling off, but I'm not falling off. I have to change the semantics. I have to change the way I talk about myself. As things are shifting, but I'm still who I am. And I think that foundation that I laid 3-4 years ago have allowed me to kind of be where I am now, to enjoy this new part and this new reality of my life. So that's all that I wanted to say. And if you guys relate to this, let's have a conversation about it. If you guys think that you want to hear more about me, giving you updates about what's going on, if you can relate, if you want me to do Instagram lives, more content around this stuff, let me know. Hit me up. You can always email me, Raina at Dreams and Drive. Send me an Instagram message over on Dreams and Drive. I'm always on Instagram. There are so many women right now who are coping, even working from home women, working women, mothers. We're all trying to find a way back to ourselves, because our lives have been interrupted in so many ways. And it's funny because although my life has been interrupted, I've also gained, so many of my friends are mothers now within the past year, right? And I've gained this perspective that we're all going through it in some sort of way, right? And I know that if I continue to believe, if I never give up, like that's the thing that I'm really proud of is I never gave up on Dreams and Drive. I slowed it down, but I didn't quit on it. And that's where I want to leave you guys with. You may not be in a season right now where you feel like you're accomplishing, where you feel like you're at your best, operating at 100%. And maybe we're not meant to operate at 100%, but I do think that you cannot give up. Always keep it in motion, right? It's all right that you might have to go and park. It's all right that you might have to be in reverse or neutral. We're not always in drive, but it's the fact that we're on something and we're realizing that that's not the only place that we'll ever be. That's what's going to keep us going. That's what's keeping me going. At times, though, I will be honest, I forget that. I forget that reverse isn't permanent. I forget that park isn't permanent. I forget that neutral isn't permanent. Drive isn't even permanent, heck. So for anybody listening to this right now, remember that wherever you are right now is not permanent, and you can make changes and you can shift and things will get better. I know they will. I know they will. So if this episode resonates with you, please screenshot it, please share it, post it on your Instagram stories, Facebook, somewhere where somebody can see it. I really think that this message will resonate with someone. You can also make sure you're tagging us. We're Dreams and Drive across the board on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and use that hashtag Dreams and Drive when sharing. If you guys want to support the show, you can get Dreams and Drive merchandise at dreamsanddrive.com/shop. That's dreamsanddrive.com/shop. And if you want to join our weekly newsletter, The Keys, that's dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. I hope this message resonated with somebody. And if you have any ideas on other topics you want me to address about dream driving and motherhood, dream driving entrepreneurship, or just my own personal life updates, please let me know. I want to talk about this. I think it just felt freeing now. I felt like I just had this sense of relief come over me just by talking about it with you guys. Can't wait to hear what you think. Keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember where you are right now is not permanent, right? Don't let yourself wallow in doubt, insecurity, fear, pessimism, all that stuff. It's part of life, but we don't have to live there because we're dream drivers and we're ever moving forward. All right? Talk to you later. Bye, guys.